guys, Lewis here, and in this video today I would just like to give some pro tips that I've received from the pros when playing gypsy jazz style guitar. I've been lucky enough to be able to jam with some of the top names at festivals and things like Stockolo Rosenberg and Paulus Schaefer, Moses Rosenberg, Robin Nolan and so on, and I've been trying to soak up as much information as I can, and I'd just like to share it all and their wisdom with you. Just like to say thank you as well to my donations on the Buy Me a Coffee page that's in the description below, and I really appreciate it, guys. And if you like the video or like any of my other videos and you get something out of them, please feel free to check it out. Okay, so the first tip is about practicing improvising. So a great bit of advice that I received is about practicing the arpeggios of chord changes from a song in your practice regime. So, for example, if you take a tune like with lots of chords in it, like After You've Gone, C, C minor, G, E7, A7, D7, G, G7, a lot of chords, C, C minor, G, E7, A minor, E7, A minor, C minor, G, B7, E minor, A7, G, 2, 5, into the dominant, right? So there's a lot of chords going on. So how do you practice working over those changes? Try and have some sort of sense of pulse behind it, but play the arpeggios of the chords. So C, it's minor, G, E7, A7, D7, G, G7. You can hear the tune, right? C, C minor, G, sorry, G, E7, A minor, E7, A minor, C minor, G, B7, E minor, A7, G, A minor, D7, G, G7, and repeat that through. You're not trying to do it to create a really nice solo, because at the minute it just sounds like notes from a chord, in which it is. But the whole point in that is just to see how fast you can react and hit the notes that complement the chord that you're playing. So of course, you've got to really know your arpeggios, and it really gets you thinking on the spot. What you need to do is map out these arpeggios in multiple positions. So if I just take like G, for example, you got this one, got this one, got this one, got them everywhere, right? So if you know, let's say G in multiple positions, then no matter where you are on the fretboard, you can go from there. So that's the first challenge, and that really gets you thinking, and I need to do more of that because it's a good challenge. It's hard, but in a good way hard. So that's the first tip. And the next tip is about practicing rhythm. Now, sometimes rhythm can be a little bit neglected, but it's actually the most important thing about playing this style of music. So my advice would be, and the advice that I would receive, is playing along to the records and playing along to videos that you find online of your favourite players. Because you realise the difference in tempos, for one thing, that people do. So if you take a tune like I Can't Give You Anything But Love, you hear some records, and it's nice and steady. Then you get other records, and it's much quicker. You also find that it starts slow and then they'll do a quick turnaround and it goes twice as fast, right? So it's being able to almost be part of the gig. So something I like to do a lot is go online, find my favourite players, and because the other funny thing is, because it's such a niche style, right? If you go to the likes of the festival in Samoa or some festivals that I go to in the UK, all these favourite players, they're going to be there, right? So you sort of feel like you've got a head start if you get the opportunity to jam with them, because then you know what they're going to do. And I mean, of course they're going to like it, because you're going to play how they want it, which is great. So playing along rhythm to records rather than backing tracks, let's say, is a really important thing. It's about how fast you can react and play through. So that's the next thing. Next bit of advice is about jam sessions and the etiquette behind it. I host a jam session once a month in my local area, and I go to a few jam sessions. And if you've never really been to any Gypsy Jazz jam sessions, what I'd recommend for you to do is to, let's say if you're quite a beginner and you're maybe not too bothered about soloing at the moment, first of all, go, because you're going to get so much out of it. But what you should be doing is just playing the tune nice and softly, not too hard, not trying to sort of overpower the soloist. That's a big thing. When you're playing rhythm, don't overpower the soloist. Nice and quiet. And then when it's your go, if you wish to solo, then you can do your bit and people can hear you. Because when you play Gypsy Jazz, the right hand technique is where you get all your power from. And let's say if people haven't really got that just yet, they're going to be a bit quieter. So you need to make sure you play rhythm that adapts to the soloist. If it's quiet, play it quietly. If they're giving it some, you can give it a bit more, but just don't overpower them. So it's about having that etiquette behind it, about not being too much in the way. So that's quite a big thing to think about, your etiquette with jam sessions. There's so much repertoire with this music, and when you jam with some of the best players, they're going to call out tunes that you've never heard of. And so initially, if you're more confident with that, go to these sessions with your iPad with like your iReal Pro on them or whatever, and just see if you can just sort of strum along with it. That's great. It's great that you're just involved. And yeah, don't be afraid to take risks and attempt soloing, because people just would like us to jam, right? So there's nothing wrong with just giving it a go. But yeah, just talking about repertoire really quickly. There's so many tunes out there, and there's so many tunes that people play. And you know, what I would recommend to do if you're getting into this style, or even if you play a lot, is maybe pick 20 songs that you eventually would love to be able to play, and just focus on those 20. And I mean, that's a lot of tunes, right? 20 tunes is loads, but that's a long-term goal. Is to sit there and go, right, okay, I'm going to practice, let's say as a bit of a goal, within 1 year, you want to be able to play rhythm over these 20 tunes by memory. Find little like 2-5-1s in there that you can remember it. Find little ideas that goes on. But really just have a focused practice routine. That's really important, because the amount of times that, like I said, I go to these festivals and there's so much repertoire. You know, I just don't know all the tunes. Of course we don't. But it's the more you play these tunes, the more you're able to quickly learn tunes on the spot, which is great. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that and a bit of to do with repertoire. And the last thing is talking about licks. Now, some of the best players, they don't really have that much theory knowledge, and they don't really have that ability to sort of really know what's going on. But what they have is so many licks available to them. So a dominant 7th lick, D7, another one. They just have loads of things ready to go. So no matter where they are on the fretboard, they just have a lick, right? So what I'd recommend for you to do is learn as many licks as you can. As an idea, 5 major licks, 5 minor licks, 5 dominant 7th licks. And if you've got those in your locker, you can play it over so many tunes. That's the next thing you need to do. Great, just to recap that very quickly, practicing arpeggios over your changes, practicing rhythm to actual the recordings and videos online. Jam session etiquette, make sure you got that down. Having an established repertoire and practicing your licks. That's the main things that I'd like you to focus on. And that's some great bits of advice that I've received, and that's how I like to think about my practicing. That's about everything. If you have any other great tips that you've received, put it in the comments below, let us know. And apart from that, keep it up, keep jamming, and I'll see you again next time.